Good evening, friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Dr. Adit. If you have not subscribed to my channel, then please subscribe to it. And if you find my videos interesting, if you like them, then please share them with your friends, family members, your relatives, with everyone as much as possible and help this channel grow. So, friends, today I'm going to share with you a very beautiful quote in Finnish language, and I found that quote very, we can say, motivational and something that is giving us a lot of hope, especially when we are passing through a challenging situation in our life which seems not to end. So first I'll read that quote to you. It's in Finnish language. So I'll read that quote in Finnish. Then I'll tell you what the translation of that quote is. And then we'll discuss how it applies to our life. So the quote reads in Finnish, Mä näen tunnelin päässä valo, mut tunneli on pitkä ja ääni mun päässä sanoo, se sanoo luovuta, luovuta, luovuta. Now I will tell you the translation of that quote in English. So that quote translates as, I see light at the end of the tunnel, but the tunnel is long and the voice in my mind says, give up, give up, give up. So you saw the translation. Now I will tell you how it applies to our life. You know what happens? Sometimes we are stuck up in a very difficult situation, or we can say a problem or a challenge which seems too long, and how much ever we try to get out of it, whatever efforts we put in from our side, whatever endeavors we do, that situation doesn't seem to end. So after some time, what happens is we start losing hope, because whatever we are doing from our side to get out of the situation, that situation doesn't seem to end. So slowly, our mind starts thinking that this situation will never end. You know, this situation is eternal and this situation is not meant to end from my life. So it will go on and on and on eternally. This is what our mind starts thinking. And then what happens is, once our mind starts thinking in this way, we get ourselves into a very negative, vicious cycle of thoughts. Like, for example, if I am passing through a challenging situation, and then that situation it has stretched too long, and now I have started losing hopes. Now my mind will say that, oh, it seems that there is no end to this situation. I won't be get out of this situation. Now, once I start saying this to myself repeatedly, whatever amount of efforts I was putting in from my side, they will automatically start reducing, because I have now started slowly losing hopes. So because of that, my motivation to get out of that situation is also reducing. And so it has now started affecting my efforts or my endeavors to get out of that challenge. So when my efforts to get out of that situation start reducing, automatically the time required to get myself out of that situation gets longer, because my efforts have now started reducing. As the time required to get out of that situation becomes longer, I further start losing hopes that, oh, see, I was telling the same, this situation is never gonna end. So it further reduces my hopes, it further demotivates me, this thought further demotivates me, and then it further reduces my efforts to get out of that situation. And then the further my efforts reduce, the further long it takes to get me out of that situation. So we get ourselves into this negative feedback loop because of that one thought in our mind that this situation will never end. This is what precisely they are telling in this quote. That, for example, the example which they are giving in this quote is, if you are driving a car and suppose you are passing through a mountainous region, and then you are passing through a lot of tunnels. Now normally the tunnels are shorter, which you are passing through, and now there comes a tunnel which is quite longer, say around 4 or 5 kilometers or whatever, just as an example. Now when you are entering the tunnel, You can see the exit of that tunnel, but unlike other tunnels which were shorter and you could see an exit as a big hole of light, right? Because the tunnels were very shorter. So right from the entrance of the tunnels also, you can see the exit of the tunnel as a big hole from which the light is entering. But here in this case, since the tunnel, this particular tunnel is very, very, very long, you can see the exit of the tunnel, but that exit is visible as a minute, minuscule point of light. So you can see that, oh, this tunnel is ending there, but then that it's the tunnel seems very, very long because the exit of the tunnel is visible from that entrance of the tunnel as a minuscule tiny dot of light. Now from that itself you get to know that this tunnel is going to be very long and it is going to take a lot of time to pass that tunnel or to cross that tunnel. But even after realizing this fact, do you stop driving the car? Do you say to yourself that, oh, this tunnel seems very long and, it will take a lot of time to cross this tunnel. So, what I'll do is let's just take a U-turn and go back to home. Do you do that? Or do you just stop at the entrance? Do you stop your car at the entrance of the tunnel saying that, okay, I think it will take a lot of time. So let's just wait here only. Let's not do anything. We don't do it, right? We keep driving our car even though we are aware that this is going to take a lot of time to reach the exit of the tunnel. We keep driving our car, we keep driving until we reach the end of the tunnel. It might take a lot of time, it might take a longer time than other tunnels, but finally, eventually we reach the end of the tunnel and then the tunnel ends and then we are out of the tunnel. Because we knew that a tunnel which has a beginning has to have an end. A tunnel which has an entry has to have an exit somewhere. It might be longer, it might take a longer time than usual. That is acceptable, that is possible. But a tunnel which has a starting has to have an end. Similarly, how much ever challenging, how much ever severe, how much ever problematic a situation might be in our life, since it had a beginning somewhere in our life, it has to have an end. So this might seem, whatever I'm saying, might seem to you right now as quite theoretical or philosophical if you're comparing that with your own problems in life, and that is perfectly all right. Because right now, it might happen that your mind is, telling you that, see, this situation, this XYZ situation in my life is so long that it doesn't seem to end, and now this person is saying that it has to end. So how is it possible? But it is possible. As I said, a tunnel which has a beginning has to have an end. So a situation, how much ever we can say distressful it might be, since it began somewhere in our life, it has to end somewhere in our life. So what the quote says precisely is that we have to keep driving our car, we have to keep driving our life. How much ever hopeless it might seem at times, we have to just keep making efforts, we have to keep going through our life with the same amount of hope that this situation will end one day. So I found this quote today and I found it very interesting and very motivating. So I thought I would share that quote and what it really means with you all. So friends, thank you so much. That's all in today's video, and see you in next video with an interesting topic. So till then, goodbye. Take care. God bless you all. Thank you so much.